Apple just made the biggest iPhone lineup change in years, and one model got completely axed. The iPhone 17 Air isn't what you think. And the new Pro design might surprise you. I've got hands-on details on all 4 models, including which one delivers the best value and which feels like a downgrade. Stick around to see which iPhone 17 is actually worth your money, and which one you should avoid. Here's the new iPhone 17 Air, and no, it's not just a renamed Plus. Apple replaced the Plus name but didn't carry over all its specs. This mid-tier model makes some surprising cuts to hit its price point while still offering that sleek Apple design. The most noticeable difference is the camera system. Instead of the Plus's dual lenses, you get a single 48 megapixel shooter. It handles basic photos well, but struggles with zoom and low light shots compared to multi-camera setups. The eSIM only design rumor also appears true, meaning no physical SIM tray. At 6.7 millimeters thick, it's noticeably slimmer than previous models. Performance-wise, it runs on last year's A18 chip and stutters in heavy gaming or multitasking. Who should consider the Air? Casual users who want a big, beautiful iPhone without paying pro prices. It's great for social media, streaming, and basic photography, but power users will notice the compromises, especially in camera flexibility and peak performance. If you just want a good-looking phone for everyday tasks, the Air delivers, but there's a big jump when you step up to the Pro models, which is where things get really interesting. The new aluminum-backed Pros might surprise you with their changes. Here's the short version. Apple swapped titanium for aluminum on the iPhone 17 Pro models, and you'll notice the difference immediately. The new aluminum back feels cooler to the touch and sits flatter on wireless chargers. The camera layout got a complete redesign too. Instead of the square cluster, you get a horizontal bar stretching nearly edge to edge. It houses 3 48 megapixel sensors capable of 8K video recording at 60 frames per second, a first for iPhones. The new array captures sharper details, though struggles with fast motion. Performance is where these phones shine. The A19 Pro chip handles 4K video edits and 3D rendering without breaking a sweat, thanks to a redesigned vapor chamber cooling system. Apple claims 20% better sustained performance under heavy loads, and in testing these models maintain speeds noticeably longer than the Air when gaming or exporting large files. Battery life sees modest gains, about an extra hour versus the iPhone 16 Pros. The Pro models also support 25-watt wireless charging, which is fast but still trails some Android phones. Who should buy these? Creators who need that 8K video capability and sustained performance will appreciate the upgrades. The new Action button offers quicker access to professional camera settings, very handy if you shoot on the fly, but casual users might find the changes hard to notice compared to the standard iPhone 17, especially when the aluminum design doesn't feel quite as premium. Now, let's talk about the base model's upgrades because Apple finally gave it some real attention this year. If you care about buying the right gadget, listen up. The standard iPhone 17 gets major upgrades that finally make it competitive. Apple gave this model the 6.3-inch screen that used to be Pro exclusive, along with a proper 120Hz ProMotion display. That makes scrolling and animations noticeably smoother compared to the Air's 60Hz display. The A19 chip brings desktop-class performance despite having just 8 GB of RAM. In tests, it scores within 10% of the Pro models for most tasks. You'll only notice the difference when exporting 4K video or playing heavy graphic games where the Pro's extra cooling kicks in. The dual camera system persists, but gets upgraded sensors that handle low light 40% better than the iPhone 16 setup. It still can't match the Pro's telephoto lens or 8K video though. That 6.3-inch OLED hits 2000 nits peak brightness, same as the Pro's, making it easier to use in sunlight. The aluminum frame feels sturdy, but the glossy back picks up fingerprints faster than the Pro's matte finish. For ports and connectivity, you're getting USB-C 3.2 speeds, which is faster than the Air but half the Pro's throughput. Wireless charging tops out at 15 watts compared to the Pro's 25 watts. The speakers sound fuller than last year's model, with better separation when watching movies. Storage starts at 128 gigabytes, enough for most. The battery lasts about 19 hours of typical use. Respectable, though heavy 5G streaming will drain it faster than the Pros. At this price point, though, Apple finally eliminated most of the frustrating compromises that used to push buyers toward Pro models. For anyone who wants great performance without spending extra on camera features they won't use, this is iPhone's new sweet spot. That said, battery life and charging tell another story when you compare it directly to the Pro Max. Here's the thing about modern smartphones: flashy features grab attention, but battery life determines whether you'll actually enjoy using them daily. The iPhone 17 lineup brings some meaningful charging upgrades across the board. All models now support 25-watt wireless charging, up from 15-watt, and Apple redesigned the battery compartments for easier replacement. A win for longevity. Battery endurance tells an interesting story. The Pro Max leads with 22 hours of video playback thanks to its larger cell and LTPO display. The standard iPhone 17 hits 19 hours with its non-adaptive 120Hz panel, while the Air Slim design limits it to just 17 hours, like fast charging caps at 27 watts for all models, taking the Pro Max from 0 to 50% in about 30 minutes. Now, the big question, do these improvements justify the higher prices? Let's break down what you're actually paying for across the lineup. The iPhone 17 lineup changes the game. Pro features trickle down while keeping clear tiers. For most buyers, the standard iPhone 17 hits the sweet spot with its 120Hz display and capable cameras. Creators still need the Pro Max for 8K video and sustained performance, though the aluminum back loses some luxury appeal. Subscribe for more hands-on reviews that cut through the hype. I'll help you navigate these choices as Apple evolves its lineup. For now, two models stand out: the base iPhone 17 for value and the Pro Max for uncompromising performance. Choose based on what you actually need daily.